Do you remember when Chauncey Billups came out and he's talked about Carmelo, and Carmelo always worried about getting his points? Paraphrasing again. Carmelo was more worried about getting his points than he was about getting the wins. And they alluded to it in the interview. And as the interview goes on, he said that Carmelo said that Chauncey Billups wasn't necessarily wrong because of his immaturity when he was younger. Didn't allow him to see as much as he does now that he can be a mentor or somebody to help these kids grow into being better basketball players. But within the same interview, at the beginning of the season, the Rockets were losing, and a lot, with Carmelo Anthony on the team. But in his own interview, when he alludes to the Rockets and how they cut him and how they let him go, he himself says, he never mentions that they lost, but he himself says, I had like a 23-point game.
Right.
And they cut me right after that. I was getting in my groove. But he never mentions the loss. And it proves more and more to the point that Chauncey Billups was right. And I'm sorry, and I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I'm a fan of Carmelo Anthony's. I've been a fan, and I was telling Chris earlier, I've been a fan of Carmelo Anthony when he was playing versus LeBron. And Carmelo Anthony was at Oak Hill. And LeBron was at Vincent St. Mary's or whatnot. And then Carmelo Anthony goes to Syracuse. Then he goes to Denver. I've been a fan of his. I've been a fan of his since then. But you're talking about, Carmelo Anthony was talking about his maturity. And in the same interview, you allude to the fact that you're more worried about the points, but you never allude to the fact that your team lost. So in my opinion, when I listen to that, I don't know how much more you have matured. I don't know how much more you have grown. Because now, when you have the opportunity to speak for yourself, I'm sorry, it doesn't come out as somebody more mature.
You see how they, during the interview, the highlights that they're showing, most of them are all like just bricks getting blocked, and it's funny, you know, like it's just paralleling with what he's saying, and you know how mature he is and stuff. But it's also kind of, I mean, you know, the media is also that. I mean, that's a whole other thing, how the media twists and stuff. But
well, listen, I'll give the media this credit. As far as Stephen A. Smith is concerned, he came out, and not to say that Carmelo Anthony asked to have a farewell tour, but Stephen A. Smith was going to interview Carmelo Anthony the very next day and said that he did not think that, Stephen A. Smith said that he did not think that Carmelo Anthony deserved the farewell tour. And I'm just, to have that much of gall to do that, to come out on national TV knowing that the very next day.
Oh, man, I'm about to go in. First and foremost, tell me what Carmelo Anthony has done in his career that is deserving of what we just witnessed with D Wade. Has he won any championships? Has he won MVP? Has he won defensive player of the year, most improved player? Did he win the scoring title? Has he done any of these things?
I want to say maybe.
No, he has not. So here's the thing, kids. And I'm going to say this because I'm talking to a younger generation. Perception perceives you well, right? If you start having this perception about you as not having strong work ethic, or you have an attitude, or if you are a diva, or you're only looking out for yourself, everywhere you go, that is going to follow you like a shadow. And so you have to find a way to check yourself or look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, was I my best? Did I do my absolute best? And honestly, looking at Carmelo Anthony's career, you can honestly say he underachieved his whole career.
Ooh,
based off his talent.
That's hard.
Is it really?
Yes.
Because guess what? He's not getting a farewell tour. You know why? Because he didn't achieve what D Wade and LeBron James did when they came out. Matter of fact, the Greek Freak has done more in his career.
No.
He got an MVP.
Eesh. Just because of that.
He got an MVP.
And you agreed that he didn't deserve it.
But he got an MVP.
Yeah. Mahomes.
Got an MVP, right? Right? Did he get an MVP?
No.
Did he have a more successful season individually than Carmelo had at either Denver or New York?
I can't say I agree with that statement. I mean, like, I agree with you.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So like we need to stop doing this. Like this whole somebody's out to get me, somebody's trying to blackball me. How about it that the only person who blackballed Carmelo Anthony was himself?